Season 54, War number 8. Today we've matched up against Jug 2, and the bands are Cassie, Hulk, Null, Titania, and Corvus, and my team today is going to be Gladiator, Kate Bishop, and Silk, although apparently the screen said it was only Silk. That was a fun visual bug. I cut the clip. It was like 5 seconds of just me staring, like, when are my other champions going to pop up? They didn't. So yeah, we're starting today on Path 5. We're actually going to do full Path 5 this war, and then I have 5 mini-bosses to go through as well, starting with Gladiator versus this Vision here. Funny thing about this war is I didn't plan it, even though I normally would, and that's because I had my last ACT test the morning of war, and I wanted to go to sleep early the night before, so I just got someone else to war plan for me. So I had absolutely no idea what my team or anything was going to be until after the test. So after the test, like 3 hours after we started joining, I figured it out, and then my brain was still completely fried, so I'm going to do some really stupid things in the first 2 fights. Starting with the fact that I forgot that my slow isn't going to stick if she's debuff immune. Because earlier in the fight, when my vigilance fell off, I was like, yeah, she's going to be slowed. That's a debuff. There was debuff immune node. So I didn't exactly remember that. And then this Enchantress is even worse. If you don't know, I take Enchantress all the time in war. My brain was just non-existent for this one. I don't know why the heck I was doing a medium there. I should have just found a way to light attack or counter it with a heavy. Either one would have been better than a medium attack there. And I need to get to my SP3 with the protection down. That's kind of how the fight's gonna end. So I'm antibating her special attack there and stuff. And then there I go for an intercept for some reason, because that felt smart at the time. And now I just need to bait her heavy. I got rid of the orange spells first, because I figured going for a heavy counter might be a little bit more difficult. And then I just was lucky that I didn't miss when I went from the intercept. But I'm going to miss twice on my heavy attacks. And then I'm going to eat a heavy attack. And here I'm like, okay, I need you to charge a heavy, and then I'm just dropping the SP3 into it to remove the spell. So this fight's going terribly. And then after the SP3, I want to try to kill her before protection goes away. I'm not even sure if I can do that. So what am I going to do exactly? I'm going to do the normal thing. And then gonna go into the relic. I don't know why I didn't relic there. I was just, something was really wrong with my head. I don't know why I didn't relic there. So yeah, we're getting the fight down eventually. It's just I don't have my full brain capacity active for this Enchantress apparently. But then I kill her with this SP2 here. So I guess I should have waited longer after the test to do my war fights or something, which I did for my section 2 and my minis. These fights, and then, yeah, so starting here, and then all of the fights after, I did in one run, after 3 or 4 more hours. And then these are going to go pretty well. I had to retrain myself how to use Kate Bishop, because I hadn't played her in months. She hasn't been very good for a bunch of BG's metas, and I don't even play her that often. I don't find her the most fun character to use. But I was assigned Path 5, probably because we had a bunch of people dying on Path 5. So I guess it was my turn to try to find some good counters to destroy her on 5B specifically. We had a couple players die of that fight in the past couple wars. Now it's my turn to try and solo it. And Destroyer is the next fight. But this Killmonger here is kind of just the same thing. You want to parry their dash attack, because your counter attack is going to count as an intercept. And then I just want to manage his power by keeping it low when I want to trigger his reverb. And then he goes down like that. So pretty quick and easy. And then this Destroyer fight, also going to be with Kate, of course. And again, we had 3 different people die to this fight in the past 3 wars. Not in the same battle group, but our alliance is just struggling with this fight a lot for some reason. So now it's my turn to try and take it. And we start with the PS1, of course. counter his dash attack, and then gonna counter it with a heavy, and then he's at special 2 now, which is exactly what I want. Gonna bait it, dex it, go for the counter, pause my cold snaps, and then I do the intercept with the counter attack, refresh my cold snaps. They're doing like almost 9k per tick, and then I throw another SP1, and Destroyer's dead. So that was it. Yeah, the fight is not that difficult once you have a good strategy going into it, and I think I've done that fight before. I'm not exactly sure, but I was able to get it done pretty easily. So we move on to fight Negasonic Teenage Warhead and Node 39. This is a nothing placement. I'm just trying to bait her heavy at the start of the fight to knock her down. That's going to remove her evade charge, and then once her evade charge is down, I don't even have to worry much about it coming back, because she's going to be slowed like the entire fight due to decay, and then Silk's personal slow is going to get in there too. So yeah, this is just a nothing placement. She's not doing anything here with the Silk whitelist. Even without, I don't think she's doing much here. But whatever, we're gonna heavy into the relic, and she's down just like that. So PS1 actually made it a little bit more annoying because I couldn't throw the special 2 from the relic before I would have gone to a special 3. But she goes down all the same. Last Kate fight of the war is going to be against this Quicksilver on Node 41. I was actually a little bit nervous about this fight. Probably, again, part of that was because I had to almost retrain myself how to use Kate, because it's been forever. It didn't take me too long to remember how to do everything properly, and I was probably just stressing about it way more than I needed to, because I just had a lot of stress to deal with the tests and everything, and then war plan that I didn't plan myself, which always makes me sometimes nervous when I'm not in control of the war plan. But my backup planner, the one who does Sundays for me usually, he's really, really good anyway, so it's fine. I'm gonna make one change after this fight, which you're gonna see, where I do something that was not originally planned, but we'll get to that. Either way, this Quicksilver is just going down really fast. I know the SP1 decks fairly well. It's not that difficult, obviously, but it can catch you off guard. You just have to like start dexing a little bit earlier than usual, and then, you know, Kate with class advantage and war boosts and all that is just an absolute nuke. So you're gonna see I left in the clip me going to this mini island because I was originally assigned Wiccan with Silk, and then I decided that I'm actually gonna take the Thing instead and get a different Silk player to take the Wiccan. Because I thought that the Thing would be a harder fight between the two, and I want to take the harder fight myself. So that's why I'm doing this. And also the player who was going to take this with, the player was originally going to take this with Kingpin, and then I decided that since he already had Silk on his team, he could probably just do it with Silk and abuse Decay, and it would be even easier. And then I remembered that he has an unduped Silk, so it would be much more difficult to manage things rock stacks. So intrusive thoughts, I just kind of changed the plan, like middle of the war like that, and we decided to switch the minis. And then I also did something a little dumb in this fight where I forgot that the slow is not guaranteed from knocking them down. It's like 20% chance per unique debuff. So earlier in the fight, I baited his heavy attack, countered it with my heavy. It didn't slow, and I'm like, wait, why did that not happen? Because I think it triggered like the 40% chance to like not proc a slow. Because I think I only had 3 debuffs active then. So I had to hit his block a lot to push him to 1 bar of power. I'm lucky I recognized that the slow didn't trigger, because going into this fight, I just thought it was every single time I used a knockdown, and just forgot that it was tied to debuff count. So that's the only real mistake I make in this fight. Thing is going to go down. It's not like the fastest Silk fight, but it's just because he's stun immune, you know? So get an intercept there, and then he goes down. And next up, we're fighting Onslaught on node 46 with Silk. Weird node for Onslaught to be placed on. I don't think I've ever seen him here, but yeah, I don't have anything else to say about that. activating a bunch of boosts here. That was my last advanced power boost, except for the one that I could buy from the reset there. So War 9, I'm only going to have 2 of them. I think I used 3 for this war, because Silk and Kate both want PS1s as often as they can get it, so it was pretty expensive. Not necessarily loyalty-wise, but like cooldown-wise on the boosts. Like, I obviously can only get 1 per war, and then like very few ways outside of the loyalty store can you get those great boosts. So I try to manage how many of them I'm gonna have closer to the end of the season, to where I'm never like not gonna have one for like a fight that's really important. And looks like for War 9 I'm gonna have 2, which should be enough. Even though I did use 3 this war, 2 should be fine. So yeah, this Onslaught is just kind of normal. Silk gets to an SP3 and then the opponent just dies. And then I just knock him down right there. If you drop the SP3, like just after you knock them down with the heavy, it still doesn't count as a knockdown, so you keep your fury and your physical vulnerabilities. You do kind of have to be quick about it, but yeah, you can let that second hit of the heavy land if you really want to. I have Science Power Backs active, so I don't have to do the extremely technical Silk SP3 cycle. I can just kind of combo him a bunch and then get to the SP2, and then it does way more damage than I need anyway. And then the SP1 probably would have killed him too. So, last fight of the war, another one I was kind of worried about going into it because I had not seen Silk do this fight before. It's gonna go pretty well. One thing I did know in the fight, which I didn't know this like until middle of the season, is that Punisher 2099's Special 2 ignores all evade. Because one time he was placed on like 36, and I'm like, so if you just push him to SP2, he throws it, you evade it, and then, and it's like, you can just probably just kill him before that, right? Well, I decided to read his abilities before I signed that placement real quick, just to like try to figure out something, especially with like his SP3 and his Awaken ability. I was trying to read something, and while I was reading, I saw what the SP2 did. I'm like, oh, so I can't evade that, can I? So we're just going to be baiting a lot more SP1s in this fight than normal. The fight's already over, so I didn't really get to talk much about it. But yeah, he's dead, so there's that. And then, as of the time of this screenshot, the war was not over, but we did win, because we finished our fights and had higher defender kills. So I believe they finished with 9 deaths or something, so we won 9-4. That's our 3rd win in a row. We're currently sitting in Masters. I believe if we win one, we get top 10. If we lose one, we place Plat 2. So that's a pretty big swing. So I'm just really hoping we win, because I don't want to be in Plat 1 again. That would be bad. So, as far as my stats go, I am hopefully, about to get my 2nd Deathless season. Because if I go for a clean War 9, then that's a Deathless season for me. So, that would be pretty cool. We'll see if it happens in War 9, which, as of recording this video, that we're about to match our opponents pretty soon. So we'll see what it looks like. And that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.